beef with this is that when they're throwing these things out on the internet, like some of these parenting styles that we're seeing on the internet, it's research says, studies say. It's like, okay, well, why don't you show me what the study says?
That's a
Like,
very good, yeah, that's a very
yes,
good point.
I'm capable of going and look like you just did. Okay, yeah, studies do say that
Well,
yelling at your
not,
toddler shrinks their brain and causes all these problems, but
I found one.
one time, oh,
One
yeah,
study, one study.
one
But
study.
here's the thing that like if I just threw it out on the internet and said, are there studies showing that yelling shrinks a child's brain? What happens is AI will make stuff up. Okay? Now, the reason that I know this is because I've in a recent class that I was teaching, I had half the class using AI to do all of their homework. And you only have to read AI like once or twice to feel like you get the feel for AI's voice.
Yes, yep.
And the voice of AI is way different than that of an undergrad student. Okay?
Hmm.
So, when you throw what they read or what they've written, when you throw that through the AI detector, what it will check, like they say, oh, here's a reference. They'll
Hmm.
check for that reference, and what
Hmm.
they've found is that AI knows what APA formatting looks like, makes up its own references that will sound realistic, and they're calling them ghost references. They're not even real articles, they're not even real studies. They are AI fabricated that will fit the
Hmm.
APA format.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like I said, I know I am capable of going and finding the information. You're capable, obviously, you found one. Um, then it just sounded so far-fetched to me, though, that studies show yelling at toddlers shrinks the brain, leading to fear, anxiety, cognitive impairment, and chronic illness.
Okay,
It's like, how much do you have to yell at a kid to get that to happen? Because I got
quite
yelled at, trust me.
quite a bit.
And
Okay, a little bit of yelling is not going to do that. Okay, that's
yeah,
not what we're talking about. Like if all the kid ever hears is yelling, we have lots of different conversations we have to have. But the a
right.
little bit of yelling is not going to do anything. The problem is that a lot of gentle parenting they get pushed to the point where they have reached their max as parents. Nothing is working, and they like, I can't discipline the kids, so they yell.
Ooh, yeah. Well, and yeah, I would never think that you would have to yell and scream at a kid
Yes,
anyway. But I mean,
yes,
I don't think
no,
that's a healthy environment.
yes,
But sometimes, yeah, like you said, the emergency broadcast system.
right.
Sometimes
The
you got to yell.
like if I'm about to walk in front of a bus, yell, okay?
Right.
That's the whole
Right.
point. If my kid's about to touch a hot stove, yell. If there's
Right.
a snake in the yard, like there are reasons that we yell.
Right. Right. So
Picking up
I it
your
would be
picking up your shoes is not one of them.
right. So it would be helpful if these kind of or not studies, I guess, if these kind of claims were prefaced by that. Yelling just for the sake of yelling, yeah, that's terrible. But sometimes you have to.
And
But
yelling
when you
for like
leave out important information and then you just say, studies say, it's like, what studies? Who
well,
said that? And
exactly.
did AI make it up?
Right. The other very important piece is that when you're referencing like this kind of an article, how many children were studied, what kind of
Right,
studies, how much yelling, all of those little bits and pieces make a huge difference. We looked
right.
at one child who had an abnormal MRI. Well, you don't know whether that child just has an abnormal MRI.
Hmm.
If it was like 700 children and they yelled at them for 16 hours, okay, number one, then we're going to look at the ethics behind this particular experiment and be like, okay, I can't bite into that to begin with because we have very, very strict ethical standards as far as
Right,
experiments on kids.
right,
So
right.
I'm going to call, like, like, no.
I call
But
shenanigans on things. Yeah, that's just one of those stuff, and it just bothers me when they say. And so I went to the site of the person who is putting
mhm,
this information out there, and their site even tags them as research backed neuropathy and herbology. But nowhere on their site is there any research. There's no linkage to any of their work. There's no there's no list of references of where they're getting their information. So it's just, I guess my bone here is that just for everybody to be cautious about where they're getting their information and do their own due diligence when they just parent.
just parent.